was shining, I was laying in bed. I was wondering if she'd changed it all, if her hair was still red. And her folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. And they never did like mama's homemade dress, papa's banquet wasn't big enough. And I was standing on the side of the road with the rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. And I'm tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, but soon to be divorced. And I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. And then we drove that car as far as we could and abandoned it out west. Split up on a dark, sad night, both agreeing it was best. And she turned around just to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. And I'm tangled up in blue. In the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell, but I never did like it all that much. And one day the axe just fell, so I drifted down to the New Orleans where I had been to be employed. I was working for a while on a fishing boat right outside Delacroix, but all the while I was alone and my past was closed behind. And I seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew. And I'm tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. I just kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, as the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. And she was standing there at the back of my chair, said to me, "Don't I know your name?" I muttered something underneath my breath, and she studied the lines on my face. I must admit, I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the lace of my shoe. And I'm tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. I thought you'd never say hello, she said, that she looked like the silent type. And then she opened up a book of poems and handed it to me. It was written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of those words rang true and glowed like burning coal. It was pouring off of every page like it was written in my soul, from me to you. And I'm tangled up in blue. I lived with them on Montague Street, in the basement down the stairs. There was music in the cafes at night, a revolution in the air. And he started into dealing with slaves, and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. And finally, once the bomb fell out and I became withdrawn, the only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on, like a bird that flew. I'm tangled up in blue. So now I'm going and I'm back again. I got to get to her somehow. All the people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians and some are carpenters' wives. Don't know how it all got started, I don't know what they're doing with their lives. But me, I'm still out on the road, I'm just headed for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw from a different point.